Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I will be talking to an author whose book I have recently read and enjoy. And my guest for this week is author Tanvi Nishar, and we are going to talk about her fantasy novel Ghost Fever. And it's going to be a really interesting episode because I have an author from this genre after a long time, and I've really enjoyed reading the book. We are going to talk about the book and how she went about writing the story, what was her inspiration behind it, is there any method that she followed for writing the book. Lots of interesting questions and answers coming up, so do stay tuned. Hi Sukana, and Tanvi is also already here. I'm just going to invite her. Tanvi, I've sent you an invitation. See if you were able to receive it and accept it. Tanvi, if you can let me know in the comments if you received the invitation to join me on the live. I think the invitation hasn't gone through. I'm just going to. Extremely sorry for that. Yeah, I think Tanvi is here again. Okay, Tanvi, I've sent you a fresh invitation. See if you received it. Yes, he's here. Hi, Tanvi.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. Very excited to have you here.
Me too. Me to be
Before
excited.
Yes. Before we go ahead, would you like to briefly introduce yourself to the audience first, please?
So, my name is Tanvi Nishar. I write primarily fantasy books for middle grade readers, tweens, children, everyone. And this is my second book. It's quite closely connected to the first book because I've used a few characters which became quite popular in the first book. So, I had a few readers telling me that, okay, can you write a story based on that? So, yes, that's how it is. And I also work in a school at the library. I'm a library resource
Wow.
person,
Wow.
and children really get me charged up.
Wow, that's a dream job for book lover, for any book lover.
For anyone, yes.
Yeah.
I that's why I don't necessarily tell anyone that I work in the library.
Yes. किसी की नजर लग जाएगी थू थू.
Wow.
Yes. And interesting bit you shared about the book that it was actually the reader's response that inspired and motivated you to
Inspired.
write this book.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
that's wonderful. And we'll get to that later. I do have some questions in mind related to that. But before we go any further, I just want to show everyone the book's cover that we are talking about. Ghost Fever. This is the book cover. If you have the paperback, can you show it to us, Tanvi? Do you have the paperback of this book?
Yes, I do. I'll have to go and get it. Just one second.
Okay, that's okay. So we are going to do a short reading also from the book. I am going to read out one of the chapters. Let's wait for Tanvi to get back. I'm going to read out from the first chapter itself, and we are introduced to a few characters here who play a major part in the story. Hi, Sukana. Thank you for joining. Oh, lovely. That's the paperback that Tanvi is holding, and I have the ebook in my hand. See. Yes. As I was mentioning, I'm just going to read out a few passages from one of the chapters that I really enjoyed reading. And coincidentally, that happens to be the first chapter itself. And just in order to tell you, everyone and you, how much I enjoyed it, you can see all the highlighted parts of the chapter. So this is the part where we are introduced to the to few of the characters, and one character has come in with her daughter and she is unwell, and this is the conversation that is unfolding between the mother of that sick child and the doctor who is supposed to treat her. So this is how it unfolds. Mrs. Paulin was strikingly rich. Like most rich people, she could afford to live with such an insufferably inflexible and uncompromising attitude. And she was accustomed to having things go her way or the highway. Mrs. Paulin could threaten and also bully, and even had the power of influencing others to dance to her tunes. It wasn't impossible for her to summon the greatest possible force to serve her. So, dragging Mr. Phantom to a trial was scarcely much of an effort worthy task for her. Mrs. Paulin, it is Gutty's duty to bring the deceased to my office for examination, and he is only doing his job. Your daughter couldn't have attempted to escape. Mr. Phantom explained. She's a little girl. Have you no mercy? Mrs. Paulin rolled her eyes lividly, biting the inside of her cheek. Mr. Phantom turned to Gutty. Gutty, leave her alone. Although he hiccuped through his words, his voice was still firm. Gutty immediately let the girl go. The girl rushed to hug her mother, sobbing bitterly into the folds of her dress, and Mrs. Paulin's face grimaced weirdly, somewhere between a furious scowl and a sad lament. And then we have the second chapter starting. I'm going to read out a few passages from that already. Mr. Phantom heaved a sigh. He remembered having an anxiety attack when the first case victim was brought to his office. He had rivulets of sweat washing down his face. Anxiety attacked everyone in different ways. I'm just going to pause here and show everyone that this also has highlighted parts. Yes, anxiety attacked everyone in different ways. Some stayed wide awake at night like an owl tossing and turning in bed. Some others had petrifying dreams. Anxiety even took away appetites. He was used to watching such melodrama whenever a case victim arrived. He knew that sickness was never welcomed by anyone. It was not an easy task to remain surrounded by malady and melancholy forever. His job scored a high measure on the barometer of stress. But then, every responsible job asks for a specific sacrifice. And this was the deal he made before accepting the significant position. My daughter, she's awfully sick, Mrs. Paulin cried, occasional snivels breaking her sentence. She had banished her demanding tone and spoke in a rather feeble voice now. She pulled out a handkerchief from her pocket and wiped the steady stream of tears that flowed down her face. Please, sit down, Mr. Phantom said, giving her a curt nod. Over the years, he had gained the experience of handling hundreds of cases. She is awfully sick, Mrs. Paulin repeated, sitting down heavily on the small chair, maintaining an eye contact with him. The chair squeaked under her massive weight. Fresh tears sprang to her eyes and she blew her nose like a trumpeting elephant. I heard that already, Mr. Phantom said, smiling weakly, maintaining his composure. Let me, he continued, looking away from her. He opened the drawer and fetched a bundle of parchment. Here it is. He dipped his quill in the ink pot and then asked, tell me the name. Mr. Phantom pressed the tip of the ink-dipped quill on the parchment gently enough to not let the ink bleed through. He was a perfectionist. Also, he didn't quite enjoy writing a record all over again if it got messy. He had dealt with all kinds of case victims. Some of them were agog and wildly descriptive, with mountains of information to give him about their encounter. They even gave peripheral details using overdramatic gesticulations. So we are in the scene where we know that a victim has arrived at Mr. Phantom's clinic. He's a doctor. We were able to decipher that from this particular scene. He's a doctor, and we have a case victim who is a little girl, and she's there with her mother, and the mother is really emotional about what her child is going through. To know more details about what has happened to the child and why the mother is behaving like this, you have to go and check out the book. And I'm just going to acknowledge the hearts and claps that we were getting while I was reading the passages. So thank you everyone for that love. And based on my reading of the book, what a few things that stood out for me in this particular book were that one, that you have used ghosts as your main character. There's a ghost town that you have constructed, and we have so many ghosts living in that particular town, and they are going through their own struggles and challenges. But what I particularly found interesting was that a lot of those challenges and struggles are very similar to what humans go through. So I like that uh, parallel that you have drawn between the human world and the phantom world. So that was really nice. And especially given the struggle of the mothers. You have shown that wonderfully, and that's very very human like characteristic, that they are very protective of their children, they are going overboard about them, they are also struggling and they are frustrated about what to do about getting them to behave well. So I enjoyed those parts. And we have a particular courtroom trial that is going on. That was
Right.
also, yeah, that was also very dramatic and very similar to what we have seen in, courtroom dramas in movies, serials, or if you have read in any books also. So I enjoyed that. And then there are of course layers of suspense in each chapter that that unravel as we read the book. So very well done, Tanvi. Kudos on that.
Thank you.
And based on my reading, Tanvi, I had a few questions for you if you would be kind enough to answer them. Shall I shoot them?
Yes.
Okay, so my first question is based on that itself, where you have, tried to show the struggles of the ghost as being similar to the humans. So I really appreciated and enjoyed that. But this anthropomorphizing intentional in order to elicit empathy? And how did you choose which human struggles to, reflect upon in this fantasy world?
Yes, it was intentional to, but not the way you portray it or anybody else sees it. So the reason why I chose this was that humans have this preconceived notion about ghosts. Like this is how they are, they are evil. They are the way I've described in the book, that they can't go to temples. They if they go, they'll burn or die or something like that. So I just wanted to draw a fresh perspective, like
Hmm.
what could ghosts be like? Maybe they're not so. Maybe they also have their own problems. Maybe they also, I just wanted to portray the day to day life of a ghost. It could be
Okay.
mundane sometimes, it could be interesting, sometimes it could be very, evil, that kind.
Hmm.
And also, I actually wanted to show that they also, like, it's not just the human struggle reflection, that you gave very beautifully. I think how their lives are similar and different anybody's. Like
Hmm.
it could even be some other creature, for example. Like even when we read Harry Potter, there are so many feelings that they have, which are quite similar to ours. So I think even they are living there, they are existing
Hmm.
since a long time. We are living here, they are living there, they are doing their thing, we are doing our thing, it's just that way. Like I just wanted to show people that okay, can they also go to school? Can they also enjoy eating chocolate? Do they also have a government system? Do they have laws? Do they also have go to fight wars, or do they have conflicts? So just that, like how similar and dissimilar can we be, to them? And we came quite after them, right? So they have been, we have
Yeah.
been, like,
Yes.
yes. So I think that's,
Yeah. It's actually their world, and we are living in it, right?
yeah, we just live somewhere close by, and we probably don't see them unless we see them in a mirror.
Yes. Lovely. And on a follow-up question on this, so that I want that sparked from the one of the revelations that you made in the beginning of the episode. Uh, I asked you what parts of the human world you wanted to take into this. Now I want to ask you, what parts of the previous book that you chose to bring into this book based on the readers' opinions and views that you got from that first book. How did you decide upon that?
So the thing is, I have many children reading these books. Twin Straighters was read, I think, by so many children, so much of love that I've got, and the lovely feedback that I've got. So one good feedback I got was mostly when I asked them who's your favorite character, they did bring up the ghost siblings, that we like them the most, and you didn't write too much about them. Why? So I said, because the story was not based on them. So I was like, can you write something about ghosts, about just the three siblings? We really want to understand their personality and why they are like this, So what happened to them earlier? So I think that's why I wrote something about ghosts. And also it's an unexplored topic in fantasy, not too much of ghost fiction that we see, like this kind of a ghost fiction. We see horror books, but not this,
This
like
is
some.
this is the where we are humanizing the ghost, and we kind of are not scared
Yeah,
to read about their world.
yeah. So it's not a horror. It's not a horror fiction. It's just a fantasy.
Yes, and something that won't scare you when reading about ghosts. So
I
that yeah.
back so many things that they go through.
Yeah, I actually like that because I'm also one of those people who avoids reading horror because of this same very reason that, I don't want to get sleepless nights. I don't want to dream about the ghosts that I'm reading about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wonderfully done. And that brings me to my second question. The concept of ghost fever and the case victim facility that's a central point of this entire story. It is so inventive, so wonderfully done. What inspired that idea of a ghostly illness, and that also the root of the ghostly illness, where it stems from, is also very interesting. I
Very.
don't want to give away spoilers, but I would love to know where that came from. How did you develop its rules and the lore around it? And similarly, the setting of Sarari, where this the entire story is happening, it also feels both mythological and for it's like a lived in place. We feel like that it's been there. It's just, it might be right next to us, but we don't know about it. Kind of like that place. So did you base this ghost town on any real location or some folklore that you have read? And how did you build the atmosphere around this particular setting?
So it's quite interesting. When I started writing it, I actually finished writing the first draft in my early months of 2019. That was before Corona hit this pandemic. And
Okay.
then when we went through the pandemic process, and I was like, there are so many similarities between my content and the pandemic. So then I took
Mhm.
a while. I took a while to research, read more. I'm also a mythology student, so I went
Oh.
back and some more research back and forth, and then I got to this plot, like this book. So it took a long time. It really took a long time, and yeah, about 4 years, to finalize the plot and cleanly edit it and then get it out in the market. So it was a long journey for me. And about the rules, I think it's just that when we have an encounter with a spooky spirit, the first thing we say is, "Acha, are, something has happened to you. Like you've
Hmm.
had a spooky, to aapko nazar lag gayi hai," something like
Uh-huh.
that. So I just wanted to see it in that way. I'm also not going to give you spoilers, but just like, how do they feel when they meet us? We've never thought of that.
Yes.
We thought of the other side, that, oh, if I see a ghost, this will happen, that will happen, he'll drink my blood or something. But we don't, like, I've seen so much of content on exorcism. I've read so much. We've studied eschatology myths. So I just wanted to understand that when cultures talk about life after death,
Hmm.
how do they look at it? So this is one step ahead. What happens life after death? But these guys never died. They just existed all along. So I just wanted to tell people that it's not that we become ghosts when we die. It's just that they are there. It's a different race altogether.
Hmm. We have
So they
Natasha
all
here who is
they
complimenting you on that.
So I
She's
just wanted to
saying
give
what,
that twist, that
yeah.
twisty, like eschatology myths. When they talk about it, they talk about it from a different perspective. But my story talks about it from a different perspective.
Yes.
So I
And
that
yeah.
and there, I got the rules from there.
From there.
The
Hmm.
that I saw, like, okay, so if we feel something when we see them, what do they feel when they see us? We
Hmm.
never think of that. So that angle. I
Yeah.
think we need to read the book to understand why really ghost is affected by ghost fever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny
We
and
are not giving away any spoilers, but that forms a major plot point also. So go,
not
go.
And about the second question, so it isn't really based on a live location as such, but yes, because I've been a student of mythology, there could be a few elements, where you would see that, okay, there is, because I've also studied archaeology, so we do have these places where you
Hmm.
will see remnants of the houses, you will see a council, a place where, like where all these
Communities were
processions
happening.
happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So there will be a house of a person who's very important, and you recognize that house through archaeology. Like, you'll
Hmm.
understand that there's somebody important who lived here. So I
Hmm.
have that construction in my mind. Like, there will be a place where there were books. There will be a granary. There will be. So this is somewhere coming
Coming
what I
what I
studied.
studied. Yes. We have people think that they find the conversation interesting. So I'm just going to show everyone the context of the book that we are talking about. This is the book that we are talking about, Ghost Fever, and it's written by Tanvi. Go check it out on Amazon. And I'm just going to say a quick thank you to Rita and Natasha. Natasha was saying what an interesting observation regarding what you said. About how ghosts would be affected by humans. So she was saying that's an interesting observation. And Rita said the book sounds fascinating. So just a quick thank you to her also. Okay. Thank you for answering both those questions, Tanvi. I think I am done with my questions for you. But since the audience has shown so much appreciation and curiosity related to the book, I'm just going to read out few more passages from another chapter. Let me just go over my annotations to find out which part have I highlighted besides this one. A lot more. Okay. I was thinking maybe I could do one of the scenes where we are in the courtroom drama. Could you guide me to the page number where we I might find that? Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
Uh, this is from. I'm not sure if it's from the court scene, but I have highlighted it. I'm just going to show everyone again, once again, that it's one of the parts which I have highlighted. So I'm going to read that one out. Law and order are necessary for the smooth functioning of any society. If there were no laws, our town would have become the home of unruly and uncivilized ghosts. Do you ever want that to happen? Kati said, his eyes still fixed on her. When Heva remained silent, he continued, Mr. Fanstrom once told me that it is quite tempting to break a law, as it is normal psychology to desperately want to do something that the law denied. Then shouldn't there be a trial held against these lawbreakers? Lawbreakers must be severely punished, Heva replied, without giving it too much thinking. But is it not important for us to know why these laws are made by the council? Is it not the responsibility of the council to keep transparency in the system? Gati's eyes roamed over her face for several seconds, studying her intense scorn. Eva went on ranting. You have been working here for several years. You must be aware that the fever is not contagious. Then why do we have to live in the facility? Why can't we be treated in our own homes? Do you understand how painful it is to live without our family? How lonely we get? And this law is only making our path to recovery more and more arduous. Her voice dripped with ire and her cheeks flushed in rage. Gutty thought about it for a long moment and then said, You do have a point. But this isolation is prudent so that all the case victims can be treated under one roof. This reason is not sufficiently valid. Heva shook her head in denial.
Just the part where they don't like being confined. Even when we suffered from corona, I remember nobody liked being confined,
Isolated. Yes, yes.
like isolation. So I think, and see, she's a little girl.
Yeah.
She wants to go back to, yes, COVID inspiration. That's what I said earlier, I think, before she joined. COVID inspiration to nahi tha, ma'am. I finished writing the first draft before the COVID hit. And then I realized that, oh, there are so many similarities. Like, what is this? It was for me also because I thought about all this before the pandemic ever happened. And I don't think anyone's believing it. I
Yeah. Uno reverse has happened with you from the universe.
I know it. I just some say this is some sort of a plague. So even in the human race, I think we've had so many plagues.
Yeah.
Every 100 years, I've read
100 years there's something like
every
this. Yes.
100 years, there's some plague that hits and it washes off like half your population. But here, obviously, ghosts don't die. So they're just there, you know. All
Yeah.
of them are the CSF. So yes, that's how it is. And how bad you feel like I'll never gonna get out because there's no cure. What am I going to do? I'm trapped here.
Yes. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my questions and my readings related to your book. I leave the floor open to you now. You have also read Embraces, and I'm going to
Yes,
let you
I
go ahead.
read out a poem that many will relate to. Those who work Monday to Friday. This poem is especially written for y'all, and I'm going to start reading it. They are taken for granted days. Monday is the most dreaded of all, by kids and adults alike, because it means getting back to school and office and continuing with the hustle of work and studies. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are everyone's favorites. because they indicate relaxing and lazing around, no meeting deadlines, and engaging in activities that bring happiness. Thursday is a segue, transitioning from not so good towards the great part of the week, acting as the anchor where the dread falls out and excitement begins. The remaining two are the most ignored and forgotten days, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They are like a neglected lot of the family or friend circle, when in fact they are likely to be our most productive days. Nobody dislikes them, but hardly anyone likes them either. They are days that never claim out loud, forget me not, but silently also remind us, I'm here too. But unlike those people, sorry, I skipped the page. Sorry. Unlike those people, just by being there without judgment or expectations, they probably don't give us the best moments. But the most important thing is they probably never give us bad moments either. So this one is for those days and people. Thank you for being the fillers of our life. We should be grateful to you for being the pillars, not the fillers, that we never knew we needed, from someone who appreciates and values your worth.
Thank you so much for that wonderful reading. I'm just
I
quickly going to
told
show everyone the book. This is the
yes,
book that she read out from, Embraces in Ink. And this is the poem that she read out, Dear Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Thank you so much. Please continue.
I totally relate to this. I don't know what others will say. Please, somebody give your opinion on this. I totally this because I know I'm working. I know, like till yesterday, I'm like, okay, Friday will come, or Aaj Friday hai, and I was overjoyed. It's Friday today, doing nothing. There are no deadlines. There's nothing to prep for tomorrow. I don't have to wake up early. I sleep early. I can talk to my friends late at night. This is the thing. And I also feel that Tuesday and Wednesdays are very productive. I agree to what you said, because a lot of work gets done because Monday is like settling in thing. Like I
Yes.
settle Monday, I'm just going, I'm opening my system, I'm looking at the books, what my kids are, coming and telling me. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, they'll come and tell me, Miss, I want this, Miss, I want that, I want this book, please reserve this book. And then by Friday, I'm totally exhausted and I want to go back to sleep. This, I don't know what
Lovely.
others think. Please, somebody has to say something about this one.
We were getting a lot of hearts, so I'm just going to acknowledge and say thank you for the responses. And if you felt anything related to the poem that Tanvi has just read out, please let us know in the comments. Okay. I believe you also had a few questions for me.
Yes, I, I do. I do. So these poems, so I would like to read out a few titles actually, for that people understand what I'm trying to say. So the first poem is Dear Clock. Dear COVID-19 vaccine is the second one. Dear Curtains. Dear favorite fictional character. This also is a brilliant one. Brilliant one. I don't know
Thank
who should I address this to, but it's a brilliant one. Dear Yogurt. Dear Ziploc also. So I think there are quite a few poems, very interesting ones, and so interesting that you have to read this to know.
you.
And this small review that I would like to share, like my thoughts, post-reading thoughts, not like review, post-reading thoughts. So this title, Embraces in Ink, Notes from the Soul. So the latter part, like the tagline, the subtitle, Notes from the Soul, is something that caught my attention. And I'm like, okay, I have to read this. Like, Notes from the Soul, what is it? So,
Thank
so as the title is interesting, so interesting is the subject. And I think you've done a wonderful job, like a splendid job pouring your heartfelt emotions and deep emotions, that are like rooted into
thank
this
you.
collection of poems. And I really want to praise you for using various themes, not just like the normal ones which we see in poems like friendship, relationships. You used family, you've used so much. Your body, your connection to your body, to your physical self, to your future self. So, and the ones like not so, the topics that I just read out, like the ziplocs, the curtains, the quilt. That also something that caught my attention
Yes.
because even I can't sleep without my quilt. There is this one quilt that I like, and if my mother puts it to wash, I'm like, no, you can't wash it today. You can't wash it over weekends because that's mine. Then library, all these special objects and subjects that are so close to us, to normal day to day, readers will connect to this. And also, I feel like while reading this each and every poem, I delve deeper into your universe, your universe of imagination, and how deeply rooted and connected you are with each of them. Whatever it is, the subject that I just mentioned, a few of them, but too good, too good.
Thank you.
And like I would say that I'm in love. I'm simply in love with your language,
Yeah,
which is
thank you.
simple, but it is rich. It is creative. It is quirky. Like I just read out this whole poem and it is so quirky. There's writing style that you enjoy. So it's not like the poem that I'm reading like a Shakespeare or something, but this is that quirky writing style that I think will draw attention. And it left me breathless. And the only thing that I'm unhappy about is that they ended too quickly. All like, I wanted to read more. I'm like, okay, अरे खत्म हो गया letter. I want to read. So yes,
Thank
that is
you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
one complaint I have. So I want to ask you
To
these.
quickly pause you here and say Sukana has commented Ziploc is a favorite, and I have to agree because a lot of readers have got back and told me they really enjoyed reading the Ziploc one. And there's another favorite, which is the COVID-19, the social media handles talking to each other. That's also another reader favorite.
Should I read out Ziploc quickly?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, please.
Dear solution provider, I love how you started it, solution provider, because yes, it is true. Where do I store my veggies and the most refrigerated items? You. Whom do I turn to for my traveling catch? Be it food, clothes, or cosmetics? You. Whom can I turn in terms of items stored and staying intact itself? You. Thank you for being that one stop solution I can rely on. Thank you for changing the way I keep my possessions. Thank you for helping me stay organized. Thank you for getting me in touch with my organization loving and obsessive self. Yes, I am obsessive too. And for keeping it satiated. Thank you for being Sasta, Sundar, Tikau, storage and alternative. My middle class miser and meticulous self will forever be indebted to you for making life simpler. From a forever in awe and indebted human.
Thank you so much.
I'm
And
in debt.
this is the poem,
I
Dear
am in
Ziploc.
I am in debt right now because I know that this poem will connect to so many people, especially these three words.
Sasta
These three.
Sundar Tikao.
Yes, absolutely. So I quickly come to the questions that I want to ask you. So these letters and poems. So I didn't read the other ones that I really connected with, the personal connects that I had. The letters and poems are so personal that they expose so much of your feelings. Your innermost feelings that you feel about someone or something, and the situations that you faced, and you've exposed, like you actually brought this out in public domain to your readers. So, were you at any point hesitant to publish them? Any of them, like you've written so many, so did you like take it out or put it in later after a good amount of thought put into it, like no, okay, I don't want it, okay, I want it, okay, then let this also go? Did that happen?
It did happen actually, and it happened in stages. I'll explain you the various stages first of all. The making of the book happened as part of two writing challenges that I participated in. In the first challenge, I was writing it on my laptop itself. It was only for my eyes and the eyes of the person who was judging those letters. So, m- max three pairs of eyes must have seen it in the first stage of the making of the book. So that didn't bother me as much बिकॉज मुझे पता था मैंने लिखा है तो मुझे मेरी आंखों के लिए है माई फीलिंग्स आर आउट देन द सेकंड पर्सन और द थर्ड पर्सन रीडिंग इट वुड बी द पर्सन हु वाज होस्टिंग और जजिंग द कॉन्टेस्ट दैट आई वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ सो आई वाज ओके विद दैट आल्सो बिकॉज आई न्यू कि उसके आगे नहीं जाएगा सो टिल दैट स्टेज आई वाज ओके with sharing those bits that were a little personal. Then came the second writing challenge that I, continued this challenge, this writing of the letters with. For that particular challenge, I was putting out the letters on my blog. So at that stage, the audience became from 3 or 4 to many more readers who would be visiting my blog. And the response to that also was very positive. It felt like, people were resonating a lot while they were reading those blogs as the form of letters that I was putting out. I got a lot of appreciation for that. And it was after these two writing challenges that I had a chunk of about 40-45 letters. And at that stage, I was still unsure of whether I should put them together in a book. So I had the same thought that you were asking. Should I put out something which feels so personal out into the public? Would First question was about my own inhibitions and my vulnerability being exposed to the public. But the second and more important question for me at that point was, would people be interested in reading it also? So these were the two questions that I wanted addressed before making that final decision of putting them together in the form of a book. So I reached out to a few friends of mine in the writing and reading community itself. I reached out to them and I asked them. I shared all the 40-45 letters that I had compiled by then, and I asked them whether this feels very personal or is it a good idea to put them together in a book. And I trust these people. I knew they would be honest with me. They would tell me that, agar nahi acha hai, tum mat karo. So I have those kind of people, and I'm blessed and grateful to have those people who can be brutally honest with me and tell me that this is not going to work. Don't put that. Don't go ahead with, a book publication of such a thing. But they got back and they honestly told me that more than 60-70% of the letters are very very good to go in a book of this format, because this would be very unique as a form of letter letter poems like prose poetry. This would be a very unique thing. But yes, some of the letters do feel very personal, so either chuck them out or try to make them less personal. Try to cut out those bits that are specific to you. Try to make them
Generic.
more generic or universal. Try to make them more relatable to the reader.
Because they are personal, like they are your letters, you're addressing it to someone. But I still thought it was so generic because everybody might have that one
Yes.
person, like whom you want to write that letter to.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So yes, a few letters were chucked out completely, and a lot of them were heavily edited to make them feel more generic, more relatable, more universal. So that
yes,
that was the entire process that I followed.
yes. So there's one more question, like on that part. Like, so then you've written a note called Your Journal in the book, and were any of these notes a part of your journal
So I have actually been following the practice of gratitude journaling for the
before?
past few years now, 4 or 5 years. No, actually 3.5 years now, and I've been doing it every day. Where I put down the things I'm grateful for in the form of journaling into my physical diary, and then there is a digital diary that I also maintain on my social media. A lot of
That's
people already know that. Yeah.
I
Yeah. And actually, that has become a very popular thing for my Instagram followers and social media followers across also. It has resonated very well with those who have been following that gratitude journaling journey of mine. So, yes, a lot of those feelings have poured into the writing of many of these letters. I may not specifically have written one particular letter based on that. It has actually translated into all the letters that are a part of this collection. So, no, the Dear Journal poem is not specifically from my journal entries, but a lot of these
no.
lines.
All the poems that you've written, are any of those poems a part of your personal journal?
Yes, a lot of them are
They
actually.
a part of
Yes.
this book, like
Yes.
that.
They might not necessarily have been in the form of one particular poem. They might have happened over a course of many, many journal entries. But yes, they are.
So your notes did inspire, right? So whatever
Yes,
you've written in your journal, it did inspire to this subject, right?
yes,
This idea.
yes. Yes,
Oh,
because a lot of things that I have addressed in the letters, they have been addressed in my journal also. That I'm
okay.
I'm grateful for the weather. I'm grateful for the internet. I'm grateful for this particular instance. I'm
I
grateful for
thought,
this. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. I think आपने internet miss कर दिया. वो लिखना चाहिए था. That
Actually, yeah.
सबका लिखना ही है. Hey, where is the internet?
Yes.
First
I,
thing every
I
time
I I did
Wi-Fi
realize a few of the things I missed out. I also missed out on television because that forms so
password.
much. Yeah.
Wi-Fi password I would have suggested, and television, yes, of course. Or like Netflix and all that, like not
Yeah.
movie, but particularly like some, yeah.
Not cable television, but definitely OTT and
TV, of
internet.
course, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. But Wi-Fi is the main thing. Like people
Yes.
might just not be able to live without Wi-Fi. So
लिव
and
विदाउट वाईफाई छोड़ो, हमारा तो रोजी रोटी उससे चलता है, हमारी बुक्स ही कैसे बिकेंगी?
that too. No, but doing a sequel or anything of that sort, then please add AI also, ChatGPT AI, like
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes.
something if you could do for us. So
Oh
heavily
yeah.
entertaining, like I must say, heavily entertaining. Like I sat with it and I thought that I'm gonna take like maybe 1 or 2 days to read it, but I read it in one day. I came back to it. I liked a few poems. I marked them that okay, these I want to read again. I came back to it. I read them all, and then after again 3 4 days, again went back to it. And I was like, okay, now I want to read these also again because
Oh, how nice.
every time I read it again, there was something else that came to me. Yeah, I feel that connect. But when you wrote about Black Beauty in one of your books, so you described the cover, and I'm
Yes.
like, I know this. Is it this? Is it not this? So and then of course you provided a link for us to go and see, have a look at the cover, and I was like, yes, I do
I'm
not
glad you.
guess it, but yes. So we deal with books every day, so I know how it looks like. So when my when the children come and ask me that I want this, I know the cover. Like it's so easy to recognize the way you've described it. Absolutely, bang on.
Thank you so much. I'm glad, and I'm so happy to know that people, children are still reading that book.
They are reading.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of their favorites also to like
Yeah.
a large. Yes,
So there are children who are growing up to be like me, who will be fans of the book for a long time.
for a long time. Yes.
Okay, lovely. So, Tanvi, that brings us to the end of the questions that we had for each other. And we move on to my favorite part of the episode, which is the rapid fire round. Sharp. Are you ready? We'll do this
Yeah.
back and forth, Tanvi. One question I ask, one question you ask. Okay?
Who's starting?
So, I'm starting.
Okay.
Okay. My first question to you is what's the one ghost power that you would absolutely not want to have and why?
To not die or to live forever. I don't want to live forever.
Okay.
Why? Because I do believe in the concept of moksha. So
Hmm.
no, I don't want to live forever. No, it creeps me out.
Okay. Thank you.
Please.
Okay. Your turn.
Are you writing a sequel or planning to write one?
No, I generally don't do well with sequels. I'm just, kind of a person who's creatively very inspired. And once a concept is, taken root, I work through it and put it out in the form of a book. I don't generally go back to it. I, I, I want to try new things in my other books. So, most definitely not.
Okay, your question.
Okay, my turn. If you could have dinner with one of the Phantom siblings, from Toddy, Yuki, or Noba, who would it be and why?
I don't know whom I will eat dinner with particularly, but I do know whom I will not have dinner
I know the answer now. Tell it for the
with.
audience, please.
Because
Yes.
there was no food on my plate. He's gonna eat everything. So I
Yes.
वो छोड़ के दूसरे दो के साथ चलेगा. But definitely not Nova. If I want to eat something, not
नोबा
Nova.
का मुंह पे मास्क लगा देंगे हम.
हाँ, नहीं तो मास्क भी खा जाएगा.
That is true,
Eat
yes.
and everything.
Okay, your turn.
So my turn. Which of the notes that you've written made you very emotional while writing it? Like really, like 3 4 weeks also, sometimes to get through it and then come back to it and write it properly.
No, no. I can tell you a couple that were difficult, but none of them took me, 2, 3 weeks or something. They were
Was
generally
that
all of,
very heavy, like,
yes. Emotionally heavy,
hard?
there were two, but all of these were single sitting rights, that I
Could
must
you
admit.
name, could you?
One is the Dear Backstabber, where I have talked about someone who betrayed my trust. That was a very difficult one to write because I was putting out all my, you know, uh, dhoka, and my feelings of heartbreak, everything into it. And there is another one where my social media handles are talking to each other. That was also, though that letter is very funny and I put it out in a very quirky manner, it was difficult to write for me during that moment because I had written it at a time when I was going through difficult time related to my social media also. So yeah, those two. Okay, my question. A day trip in the ghost town, would it be Saraari or someplace else? Why and what would the itinerary be like?
Um, Saraari, place else. I do want to go and see it actually if it exists. And itinerary, I do want to see the entire town, to be
Hmm.
honest. But the one place that really interested me, even while writing it, was the library, Fredrickson's library, because it just excited me to the core that what kind of books do they read? You know, when I've described one of the books with the earwax, like
Yeah,
ear different creatures. So I just want to go there and sit
yeah.
there for like hours together, just to read the different books that they have.
Okay, lovely. And yeah, based on your profession and your love for books, that makes total sense.
If I said Saraari, I'll be a librarian there also.
Yes,
So,
for sure.
my third question connection to what you answered. So I don't know if you want to answer this, but I'll still ask you. Did the backstabber read this book or this poem?
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Okay, so are you going to send this poem to that person
No,
at
it
any point?
doesn't matter to. If they have read or if they come across it out of their own accord and yeah, whatever they feel, I really don't care
Would
anymore.
you want them to read it?
It doesn't make a difference to me anymore. I'm very much nonchalant about it now.
Okay, so you poured your emotion out and you're just flushing it out of your
Yes,
system.
yes. There's this particular quote that I read. The opposite of love is not hate; it's indifference. So that's the feeling I am at now. The
Yes,
indifference.
just care. Yeah, true. Or I would say anonymous email ID से भेज दो.
No, no. As I said, it's very indifferent to me their existence, whether they
Okay,
read it or not, or what they feel. So.
absolutely. Okay, your next.
Okay, next one. Which inanimate object in Saraari deserves its own poem along the lines of those in Embraces in Ink?
I think the case victim facility because how much people hate that place. Like
Mm.
not people, ghost people. How much they hate that place. I think it deserves that. It deserves it due to the gloomy atmosphere that it has. And maybe I would like you to describe the interiors and what happens there and the how it hears the cries of the ghosts and and like because there's no celebration of any sort over there. So how is life there? Like how exactly is life in the case with
I would definitely start with saying that I am hated and misunderstood, but I have been a solace to people who have not had any other place to be.
yes, Gutty.
Okay, your
So my
yes.
So, this is not related to your book, but just too curious to know. Pick one of your favorite book that you have read many times, and you will not Blackbeard, not Blackbeard, and you will still read it again. Something else other than what I just said.
Oh dear. Because I read a lot of rom-com, I don't want to promote my other books, but I have to since you have asked this question. So one book that out of the 10 books that I have written, and besides Embrace in Ink that I would go back to again and again is Love and Melodrama because it's rom-com and it's my second novel. So I feel that it is better than my first one just because I can see my growth as an author in that. So and it's in my favorite genre. So yeah. Love
And
and
what
Melodrama.
is written by somebody else, some of your other favorite author.
I am going to
That
sound
you
very
read
cliched,
time.
but yeah, I'm going to
One,
sound
just
Harry Potter because I've done it already. I've read it multiple times, and I'm a true Potterhead. I can go back to it again and again.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. My last question to you is: Who from the Ghost Fever universe would write a letter which starts like, Dear Diary, I am dead but still dramatic? And what would the first few lines of the letter be?
UK. I have bag full of dresses in my attic. Um, I yes, I can just get that one line. Aage ka maybe you will be able to construct.
Yes, yeah, she'll definitely, start with, I have a bag full of beautiful dresses. I just need one chance where I can flaunt them all. Please,
Uh,
universe, give me one day of each where I can wear all of them, and
no,
somebody compliments me on them.
and win that beauty contest.
Yes, and I get lots of compliments from people when I wear them.
So that was another thing, where I thought that people think ghosts are ugly, and even they have beauty contests, and they also look beautiful. They like dress up. So yes, all the misconceptions cleared.
Yes. Okay, I
Like
think it's
that,
your
that
yeah.
all the misconceptions are cleared.
Yes. Okay, your last question.
My last. So you almost answered this, but I still want to ask you again. So how many months did you actually take to finish writing this book? Months or day, like years, however.
So from November 2023 to April 2024, I had already compiled about 40-45 of them as part of the two challenges that I was mentioning earlier. So 40-45 letters were already there. Then I went back to my repository, which I had been maintaining in this particular genre. I had a repository of poems that I had written over the years. That goes back about 10-15 years ago also, so I don't know how to truthfully answer this, because if we look at how actively I was compiling the book, then it goes from November to April, which is 6 to 7 months. But if we go back to subconsciously, I think it goes back to a decade, so we wouldn't know.
I like. I think it will be better.
Yeah. Okay. Now we move on to the last bit of the episode, which is the gratitude bingo. So, since in this season I am focusing a lot on the theme of gratitude, and the book Embraces in Ink itself is also a lot about gratitude. I have made, constructed a interesting game related to gratitude. I am just going to ask you a bunch of questions related to gratitude, and you need to answer in yes or no. Okay. Are you ready? I'm just
Yes.
going to pull up the questions. Give me a second. And till that time, I'm going to send everyone a thank you, quick thank you. Thank you, everyone who has been with us. And we were receiving a lot of hearts during the conversation also. So thank you for that. Okay. My first question to you is, you just need to answer in yes or no. Okay, Tanvi. The first question: did a random act of kindness?
Yes.
Okay,
Just
lovely.
a while ago.
Okay. Next one: paid gratitude to an object.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not not recently. No.
Okay. Okay. Next one: wrote a gratitude letter.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one: said sorry to someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes. So
Okay. Next one: said thank you to someone in the last 24 hours.
yes.
Lovely. Next one: hugged someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Next one: said something nice or paid a compliment to someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes. In the
Great.
morning.
This also counts. You have said so many nice things about my writing in my book. So, yeah, this also
Yes.
counts.
That also.
Okay, next one. Forgave someone who hurt you in life, not just 24 hours, in life.
Forgave someone who.
Hurt you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Next
The
one.
other option is not good. That's why.
Okay,
Moving on.
next one. Yeah, moving on is very important. Exactly. Next one. Help someone without any motive or expectations.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Next one. Give someone a shout out in the last 24 hours.
No. Not that.
You reviewed my book and you've been, praising me.
Ah,
So,
yes. That is not for early.
okay, next one. Listen to someone with empathy and without judgment.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Spent quiet time alone outside.
Today? No.
No, in
Yesterday.
life, in the recent
Ah,
past.
like,
Okay, next one. This is a little tricky, and I want to know if you answer it, how you answer it. Did not complain a whole day. Thank you. That makes me feel very, very much better because I am also one of the no categories, and the people who have actually said yes, I have a feeling they were lying because this is not possible.
They don't remember.
Exactly. Okay, next one. Wrote three things you like about yourself. Wrote, not necessarily wrote, even thought counts. Oh, you should do it. You need a lot of you need lessons in self love, Tanvi. It feels like करो ये practice तो करनी चाहिए. Anyway, next one. Wrote three things you like about your parents.
I told them.
That also counts. Yeah, that counts. Next one. Wrote three things you like about someone you envy. इतना बड़ा भी दिल नहीं मेरा ऐसा. Okay, next
Write
one.
bad things also about them. I don't write only about them.
First.
Gone.
Nice. Okay, next one. Wrote three things you like about a friend or a colleague.
I've told them. Not written.
That counts.
Said to them.
Next one.
But I said to them.
Okay, lovely. Next one. Helped, mentored, or shared knowledge with someone.
Every day.
Yes, part of the job. Part of the job. Yeah. Next one. Watch the sunset in the past month.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Observed or appreciated nature and its elements.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Sat in the sunlight in the past week.
It's raining.
Okay. So no, it's not happened in the past week. Okay. Next one. Made someone laugh or smile in the past 24 hours.
I made you.
Yes.
Yes.
You learned the game. I like this. Okay, next one. Turned or looked at a negative situation in a positive manner.
I tried to yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
but
Try
I
also. Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. Tried also counts. Okay, next one. Did something this month that you have been wanting to do for long.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Awesome. Congratulations on that. Okay. And the last one. Took ownership or responsibility for your mistake.
Maybe.
Okay. I like this vague response. Ambiguous. हाँ किया ही होगा.
Okay. some
Okay.
no, it's your mistake. Somebody tells you, Arey, it is you who did this. I said, Acha, I did it. Sorry. I'll not do it again. But
Okay.
I say that, no, I really will not do it again. It's not like I was just telling my kids today that don't just say sorry is not a word. If you're apologizing, mean it. Otherwise, don't apologize. Don't say
Yeah.
sorry. Don't say sorry.
Yes.
Yes. So if I've done it, if I've meant it, I've said sorry. Yes.
Okay, lovely. You've done well on the bingo. I think you answered more than 80% guesses, so well done. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Before I let you go, I ask this question to almost every guest, and especially with those that I have a lot of fun interacting with. I enjoyed today, so I'm going to ask you, uh, when are you writing the next book so I can invite you again?
I haven't started writing yet. Hopefully, I'll start soon. There is an idea, but I've not seriously worked towards it. Not yet.
Oh,
Maybe the 27. Yes, 27, I think. Long time.
बहुत टाइम है तब तक तो मेरी 4 बुक्स आ जाएंगी पक्का.
I'm
But
very.
yeah, I would love to have you over again. So it doesn't matter. Take your time. But yes, keep this as a motivation कि जल्दी लिखना है
Yeah,
तो मनाली के
correct.
शो में आना है.
True. True.
Thank you so much, Tanvi, for joining me today.
So nice.
And yeah, any
Enjoyed a
last
lot.
parting thoughts?
I enjoyed a lot. I am going to read these poems again. There are quite a few which I like, as I said. And they keep, like, when I read it, I keep collecting my thoughts and it helps me personally. So I really thank you for writing this for
Thank
people
you.
like us, for, I'm recommending this book to so many people now. Not now, like before also. Like, I've already told people about your book and
Oh
I've
wow,
actually
thank
texted
you.
them also and they're like, yes, true. So yes. Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you so
Tanvi.
much.
That means a lot.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for asking me these beautiful questions I've never thought of. And thank you so much for answering my questions also. Maybe they were quite weird. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, not at all. I enjoyed answering them. And it was lovely to have you as a guest. And as I said earlier, also, I really mean it. I look forward to hosting you again. So please write that book quickly.
I will. Definitely I will. अभी तो लिखना पड़ेगा.
Yes.
Good.
देखो मैंने डेडलाइन दे दी है अभी तो करना पड़ेगा.
On my to-do list now.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Look forward to hosting you again. This episode will be available on my Instagram and YouTube channel. So please share, like, share, comment. And those of you who were with us or those of you who have missed it, you can always go back and watch it. And anyone else who has not watched it today, please do have a look. This was a lovely conversation. Thank you, Tanvi. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.